I'm not going to waste your time. There's a mindset out there that will build absolutely anybody, anywhere, an aesthetic physique, no matter what. It doesn't matter where you start, it doesn't matter how inconsistent they are, it doesn't matter how undisciplined they are, it does not matter how many special snowflake reasons that they cannot. If anybody follows this mindset consistently, they will build an aesthetic physique given enough time. I have seen this happen before to basically anyone that adopts this mindset, and it's happened to myself as well. That mindset is just show up every day. Just show the fuck up every single day. That is the core of how to be disciplined and consistent at anything, even if you're undisciplined and inconsistent. Now you might ask, okay, what does that exactly mean? Early on in my lifting journey, right, kind of when I was sort of frustrated at myself, I had a lot of self-hate, honestly, which is also kind of a good thing. But early on in my lifting journey, when I was first trying to be consistent, I quickly realized that skipping days because I didn't feel like it was not sustainable. It just wasn't a good model of how to achieve what I wanted at all. Most people, they go based on how they feel. So they enter a season of their life where they feel like they want to start lifting. They lift, right? They start a routine. But as soon as there comes a day where they don't feel like it, they stop. And that was me for a couple times at first. But I just got too frustrated with myself whenever that happened. And I'm sure like a lot of people that skip feel the same way. They don't want to skip, but they feel like they want to skip, if that makes any sense. And so I had to sort of invent a mindset, which I didn't actually invent, by the way, but I discovered myself, I suppose. But a lot of other people embody it as well, which was, okay, when I don't feel like it, just show up. Just either go down to the home gym or drive to the real gym and see how I feel when I get there. That changes things. That makes the hard task, which was originally the gym, like a full workout, an hour and a half workout or an hour workout, to just the task of, okay, just walk down to the home gym or just drive 10 minutes to the regular gym. Right? And I said to myself, okay, no matter how I feel in the gym, I don't have to push a lot of weight. I don't have to push myself very hard. Hell, I could even get down there, decide to just turn around and come back home. But I'm going to show up and see how I feel. And that made it easy to go down there every single time. I mean, every single time. It was basically like, okay, I just hit workouts every single day because I was like, I need to show up. At the very least, I owe it to myself. And you know what the funny thing is? As soon as I was at the gym or in my home gym, I felt like working out. I felt a desire to work out. Right? Because I wasn't stagnant in wherever I was, work, home, whatever. Oftentimes, those days where I didn't feel like it, but I told myself, okay, I don't have to push myself that hard. Let me just show up. Those days, I pushed myself the hardest. Isn't that interesting? The days where I kind of broke through that feeling and I got to the gym and I'm like, oh, I'm here. I might as well just do my workout. I might as well just go up 5 pounds. Those are the days that are some of the best in my lifter journey. Isn't that nuts? I'm trying to get my younger brothers on the same thing. They're going through a period right now where they're very emotional and they kind of make decisions based on their emotions. With the gym, you can't have that because most of the time we don't feel like going to the gym. Motivation just isn't a good motivator, no pun intended, to get jacked. And so I'm trying to instill this in them. Just show up. No matter how you feel, just show up. Because mentally, that makes it easy. And I want you to embody this too. A lot of the guys that have really been successful in this area of building an aesthetic physique, they show up, even on days they don't want to. A lot of them have this exact mindset, which is, I'm just going to show up when I don't feel like it and see how I feel when I'm there. This is way more powerful than you think, and it's not talked about. The discipline versus motivation thing is talked about quite a lot. You need discipline, right? And you can't rely on motivation. But this specific sort of mindset isn't really that talked about. It makes it easier, almost like you don't need the discipline. You do need the discipline, but it sort of makes discipline easier to achieve. And this is fantastic for consistency as well, which is the number one thing in getting jacked. But I'm going to make a promise to you, which sounds crazy, which is if you just show up every day for a really long time, no matter how you feel, no matter how the results seem in the moment, right? No matter if you've been doing it for a long time and you're not seeing results, I promise you, if you just have faith and you just show up every day that you're supposed to, anyone will build an aesthetic physique over time. Now, there's a couple other factors, right? For example, you might say, okay, well, what if I'm doing sucky workouts? What if I'm not doing good workouts? What if I'm not progressively overloading? That's a huge thing. What if I'm not dieting right? That's a huge thing, right? What if my routine sucks? What if I'm doing like 10 minutes of cardio, 5 minutes of cardio, and then I leave and I assume I'm going to get jacked, right? Obviously, you need that stuff too. But this sort of stuff, when you go on a lifting journey, like when you're trying to go from being overweight, underweight, weak, to being lean and strong, you don't know all of the pitfalls you're going to fall into along the way, right? I promise you, I've had all those issues before. I've had terrible routines, I've had plateaus, I've had bad diet, I've had all of it, okay? The way you break through that is not necessarily by refining it at the start. That's good, right? To try and figure it out all at the beginning. Excuse me. It's good to try and pursue that knowledge. But a lot of the time, we're not going to get it right, you know? And so even if we try and get it perfect at the start, like we try and get the perfect routine, we try and grasp diet, understand all of this, we make a lot of mistakes for a really long time along the way. But the way you break through that is, instead of getting upset and saying this isn't working, you just show up every single day. On a long enough time frame, you will get frustrated at the individual issues that pop up, right? For example, if you don't get an aesthetic physique in the time you want to, if you just keep showing up, your brain's going to go, okay, I'm frustrated, I'm doing something wrong, I need to fix it. Eventually, you will get frustrated enough that you learn the new information and you apply it and you fix that pitfall. You get out of that trap. You break that plateau, right? And part of that is learning. But a lot of it's just, I never stopped. I never stopped showing up. Because if you stop something, you're never going to learn. You're never going to fix issues, right? You're never going to get an aesthetic physique if you stop. But if you just keep going on a long enough time frame, you will get an aesthetic physique because you learn the intricacies of bodybuilding, of weightlifting, or whatever other method you apply to get an aesthetic physique, right? On a long enough time frame, you break all plateaus and you hit your goal. But you just have to show up. If you have one mindset, if you hold one mindset in your lifter journey, just one, make it show up. Just show the fuck up. And see what happens. Okay? So, yeah, that's the mindset that I want to try and instill in you. Every time you don't feel like you want to go, just say, okay, I'm just going to show the fuck up, and then see where that takes me in the gym. Just going to show up. I just show up. That's what I do. Try and like integrate it into your identity. I show up even when I don't want to. Or if you want to make it mentally easier, just go, okay, I don't have to push myself hard today, but I'm just going to show up. I'm just going to show up. Really try and instill that, okay? I want you to take this seriously, because this will make the difference between you quitting or you achieving your results. Just show up and have the faith that the practice, your routine, will help you. So that's all. If you're interested in getting an aesthetic physique and you're interested in investing in yourself, then you can scroll down and click the top link in the description. That is my full program. It contains all of my knowledge to date on lifting, all of like 3+ years of my lifting knowledge. And it's got so much information I can't possibly put into any one of these videos. So you'll benefit a lot just from checking that out, going over to the tab, reading what it's about. And then if it doesn't seem like it's for you, then that's fine, obviously. If you got value from this video, there is something you can do which is a win-win for both of us though, which is to scroll down and click the subscribe button. I win because I get a new subscriber, and you win because anytime I learn something new or have a new insight, then I can make a video and directly give you value. So thank you so much for watching, and bye. Have a good day.